This morning I have logged in my main account, I have logged in my alt account, and I was camping for about, I would say, 1 or 2 hours until my alt account suddenly crashed, the game completely shut off, and I thought to myself, well, it's just one crash, it happens, the alt has been crashing sometimes, and I thought nothing of it. I thought, well, it happened once, it will happen again in the future, but perhaps it will never crash again because I don't have access to my alt account ever since it crashed. I tried to log in on my tablet. It gave the same result. The game just shuts off. I tried to log in on my phone. It gave the same result. Basically, the game just turns off. And I tried the same thing on 3 different emulators on the PC, all of which gave basically the same result. Now I can log in my main account just fine on all different emulators, on all of the devices that I have. It's just that my alt cannot log in. Now I have asked around, some of my friends say that it's a software issue, which could be, but a lot of them told me that these are the symptoms of being banned. Basically, this is how the game acts in the first day or two when you get banned, but then you will get that notice. Now, so far, I did not get any notice. I cannot access the account at the moment. I have contacted customer support, so we will see what will happen. Thankfully, I did move. Last night I moved most of the stuff, almost all the expensive stuff from the alt to my main account. So I did save about a billion ISK. Unfortunately, about I think 500 million is trapped over there, including one faction frigate and a bunch of other smaller ships. So yeah, my alt probably banned, and I did not see my alt. I did not see my alt getting banned, honestly. I thought that it will happen to my main account. I'll definitely keep you notified if I do manage to get my alt account back. Well then, back to the main part of the video. Let's go to the Cynabal. Now today I'll be rolling the Cynabal, and I'll be showing you some of the other ships that I did plan to fly. The Cynabal build is the same as it used to be. I didn't really change anything. I basically keep this ship as cheap as possible. And let me just quickly check if I have a C-type micro warp drive. Unfortunately, I don't have one. So I'll just keep using the current modules, and these are the current rigs. So basically, this is the good old Cynabal that you have seen so far, and I really do like flying this little boat. Now, the other ship that I will fly is going to be the Mahler. Now, I did say before when I did the Mahler video that I will be using this ship for PvP, so hopefully I have enough time before getting banned to actually have fun with this little ship. It will be hilarious to fly this. I plan to drop the Mahler on faction cruisers, battleships, things like that, so I'll be eating around this and I'll be trying to have fun. Again, my apologies if I don't upload a Mahler PvP video, because if that happens, well, that means I'm probably banned from the game. Now, 374.5 DPS on this Mahler. This is basically the same build that I used on the test server. The same module out, scrambler, web, a drone, an afterburner, one capacitor battery, and dual armor repairers. As for the rigs, I did keep things very simple. One anti-explosive, one nanobot accelerator, and dual ancillary power grid routers, so that I have enough power to fit the large capacitor battery. So let me undock and let me show you
Undocking.
the current active stats of the Mauler. Now today I will not use the Mauler for PvP, but hopefully in a couple days the video will be ready. Let me quickly adjust the modules. It's a very simple ship to fly. It's a very cheap ship to fly, and I have to admit it's also hilariously entertaining to fly this thing. I call this the Mauler bot because, you know, all of the bots that use Maulers, well, I'm one of them now. I use a Mauler as well, with a different build and different purpose, but you know, it's still a Mauler, and this ship will be nicknamed the Mauler bot. Now I use the thermal circulation. The level 15 secondary is going to give me extra armor resistance, and so far the stats for this very cheap ship look okay. I
Docking
thought
request
about
accepted.
going integrations with this, but for now I'll just keep a build like this. But I can use the cheap integrations, and I can get about 85% resistances, which will be hilarious. The other ships that I bought, but they're currently not at this station, are I bought one Thorax. This little ship is going to be a Yeet DPS ship. I plan to drop this thing on faction cruisers, battle cruisers, you know me, on anything. I'll drop it on literally anything that I see. And I also bought one, what was it? I think it was a Rapture. I also do some funny things with that ship as well. But for now, let me go back to the Cynabal, because the Cynabal is going to be the main star of this video. The Cynabal gang. Oh man, I have to admit, flying the Cynabal in a fleet is so satisfying. One of the best ships for a fleet in the game, and it's basically the same thing for Evo 9 as well. The Cynabal has amazing DPS, crazy speed, and it's highly agile. You can also make it to be an armor tank, which is also quite the good fit. Now, waiting for the warping commands, we have one battle cruiser at 100. Waiting for my friend to say warp. However, there's a big chance that the target will warp out because they are moving, and the moving target can be quite difficult to tackle. I always say that cruisers, frigates, battle cruisers that are moving are highly difficult to catch, because if you mess up the warping or if you land too far, they can just warp away. But a big battleship is very easy to tackle, and most of our kills are actually big battleships. So that was a failure. The ship did escape, so yeah. But it's okay. We have two prophecies in the mission. Both of them are in a fleet, and we are ready. I will be in the Cynabal, my friend will be in the Vigilant. My friend will align first, so that the Vigilant enters warp before the Cynabal does, because the Cynabal is actually
Warp drive
faster
active.
in warp. That way we will land approximately at the same time. Timing is very important when you are flying different ships. When one ship is faster than the other, you have to time it like this, and that's a lot of drones. Okay, one prophecy is at 11 kilometers. I'll go after the closer prophecy. And of course my ship does not listen to my command, and it goes for the one that's a little bit further away. We focus fire on the closest one, while the other one has been pointed. Okay, one prophecy down. Let's quickly burn to the next one. Scrambled, webbed, and destroyed. Nice. Okay, that was excellent teamwork. Time to warp out.
Warp drive active.
That was quick. Now I will warp out to the belt. Already arrived at the belt, and let me align myself towards. Let's align myself towards that point in space. However, you can easily dock with the timer if you are flying a Cynabal, because this thing is actually really fast, and as long as you don't lose connection, you will dock. But docking with timer is something that I don't really recommend you do. It's easy to mess up, and it's very easy to lose your ship. 161 million. Okay, not bad. $421 million, and they dropped a nest from drone damage amplifier. Very nice. That was a very good catch. Okay, let's go to the next target. We have one battle cruiser. It is the battle cruiser that escaped the first time. So now we have changed the ships a little bit. We have changed the tactics. My friend took the Ortus. Because the battlecruiser was moving, I did stay in the Cynabal. My friend warped first to tackle, because the Ortus has longer points, but unfortunately the battlecruiser managed to warp away the second time. Okay, well, that's interesting. Next target we have on Brutix. They have been tackled. The optimal warping will be from planet 5 and 100 kilometers. Okay. Planet 5 is very close, right over here. And now let's warp to my friend. 100. I was a little bit too fast with the warp, but not a big deal. Barrage implant engaged. The Brutix can be quite a tanky target, it can also be quite a dangerous target. Okay, there is the Brutix, excellent warping. The Brutix is repairing armor. Barrage engaged, and the Brutix has been destroyed. That was quick. Let's warp out.
Warp drive active.
The Cynabal is my first serious faction PvP cruiser, so I have a lot of respect for the Cynabal. And out of respect, I don't want to use any ridiculous nanocore on this ship. Back then I didn't use them, and I don't plan to use them now. Well, this was a PvP Brutix, a armor tank PvP Brutix. It was a very interesting build, but I still feel a propulsion module is important. Now, one of our friends has been tackled by a succubus, and we are rushing to go and help. The succubus is located in a Inquisitor anomaly. The Cynabal is excellent for a quick response, because you really warp very fast. Okay, warping to the
warp drive active.
Inquisitor anomaly. There's a nightmare creeping around. Well, hopefully that's not going to warp as well. And unfortunately, the succubus did warp away the second we have entered the system. That is something that's been happening quite often, and this is why we actually need to have a tackle. Sometimes we have to wait a couple of systems away or one system away, because the target looks at local, sees us in local, and they warp out. That's how things are sometimes. Now the next target is a Naga 2, and my friend is in a Phantasm. I'm still rolling the Cynabal. Now I made a mistake here. I should have warped second, but unfortunately I forgot, and there is the Battlecruiser rushing to quickly tackle it. Now assault Battlecruisers are known to have a lot of stabs, so basically you really need to have a lot of points to hold them. Now I tackled it, I webbed it, but yeah, it warped out to the gate. I'm definitely not going to warp to the gate with criminal timer, so because of my mistake, we missed this Battlecruiser. If I did a line in a different direction, and if my friend warped first, he would tackle the Naga first, and we would probably get the kill. But it happens, and now we have a Cynabal gang going on here. Again, the Cynabal is a very fun to fly ship in a fleet, and I think it's one of the widely used faction cruisers for fleet warfare because it's so fast, it has so much DPS, and it definitely can take some hits. And if you have the barrage implant, you can roll some pretty terrifying DPS. And of course, now we warp at the same time. This is a beautiful warp. You can see that we have about the same cruiser skills, all maxed out. Both ships acted the same, and our target is a Vigilant, an armor tank Vigilant. Okay, webbed, scrambled. I have turned off the barrage implant because it's a little bit far away, and if I do turn on the implant, then my damage will fall off. But the Vigilant got destroyed, and the Cynabal Wolfpack, or the Cynabal gang, is victorious.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's warp out. Hit and run, the good old angel tactic. This is how I used the Cynabal 3 years ago, and well, obviously this is still how I use the Cynabal. However, I had plans for a armor tank Cynabal, but unfortunately I never really built one. Or I did, but I simply forgot where I put it. But yeah, 1.2 billion was a decent Vigilant kill. Okay, arriving at planet 6, we have one Battlecruiser inside of a mission. Now, from my personal experience, a Harby can be quite expensive. Sometimes they drop B types, sometimes A types, stuff like that. And this is why I like shooting at them. And this is why I say that you should shoot any ship that you come across. So we warp from planet 6 to planet 5, and from planet 5 we will probably go to the target. I trust my friends a lot with the fleet warp. They would never warp me to a station or gate with a criminal timer.
Warp drive active.
Don't worry about that. My ship is in good hands. We have an amazing fleet commander at the moment. And there is the Battlecruiser. Excellent warping. Let's approach. Barrage engaged. All three heatsinks, all three gyro stabilizers active. And of course, the Battlecruiser started to shoot at me, but I'm already used to that. Most of the targets shoot at me when we attack them for some reason. Although my friend was closer, they did went for my Cynabal. And this should be a pretty good kill. Time to warp out, to wait out the criminal timer. basically the Vigilant and Harby were side by side, couple minutes apart. Let's align to the station and let's take a look at the kill. 2.1 billion Harby, B types, nice. Well, jackpot. And cursed, of course. A very expensive ship that's also cursed. What a very interesting combination, to say the least. That's a very interesting combination right there.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's go to the next target. We have one battle cruiser at 0. Usually they're snipers, but sometimes they lurk at 0, and there is the battle cruiser. They are not aligned, and my ship refused to approach. Okay, well, not really sure what was up with that, but never mind. Scrambled, webbed, drone out. And the battle cruiser has been destroyed. That was a very solid kill. And, well, perhaps a weird build. Let me warp out and then I can check out the kill.
We're under attack.
Warp drive active.
You might be wondering, why do I say perhaps it is a weird kill? Well, it kind of looks like they mixed long-range rails with blasters. And that is something that I would never do. Actually, let me align myself towards that point in space first, because I would be approaching the asteroid belt, and that's something that I don't want to do. 348 million, and yes, it was a weird build. They mixed two weapon types. They had a lot of stabs, but their ship got destroyed before they could warp off. Actually, yeah, they had a lot of stabs, but I destroyed their ship before they could warp. So that was a good catch. Okay, let's go to the next target.
Warp drive active.
I have the afterburner on this time because I expect webs. There is the Oracle. That was a good warping. Okay. Scrambled. They are trying to warp away, but I believe I have enough points to hold them. Oracle now into hull. 0 kilometer orbit never fails. It's actually really good to use a 0 kilometer orbit when fighting ships that use long range turrets. And this looked like a pretty good loot drop. We will find that out
Warp drive active.
very soon. Okay, let me align myself towards that point in space. 418 million ISK, not bad. Overall, a solid kill. Not going to complain about a battlecruiser kill. Always nice when you blow up one of these ships. Next target, we have one Drake. I am already into warp. There is the Drake. Excellent warping. Let's quickly Let's quickly tackle. They have been scrambled. Micro warp drive is off. Looks like this Drake has some tank, which means let me orbit at 4 kilometers. They made me the primary target, the usual. Damage control is active, should last until the Drake is destroyed. I'm at 36% shield. And the Drake has been destroyed. By the looks of it, the Drake has been using rapid missile launchers.
Warp drive active.
That's why the damage was so good on my Cynabal. But it didn't go into armor, so that's good. The shield will recover fairly quickly. Let me align myself so that I can take a look at the kill. That was the wrong click. I did not get the kill. The kill is over here in fleet report. 235 million. Yeah, this was a tanky Drake. 3 Nosferatus, and yes, they did use rapid missiles. Alright, going to the next target. I will be in the Cynabal, my friend will be in the Macariel. We did not have a lot of time to swap ships. This happens quite often sometimes. My friend warped. I will warp.
Warp drive
next.
active.
I think it is another sniper battlecruiser. Well, there they are. And they escaped twice. It is the same battlecruiser from before. Catching a battlecruiser became really difficult. They are one of the most slippery ships in the game.
Warp drive active.
That's why I usually like the Stratios tackle for these ships. It's very difficult to run from a Stratios tackle that sneaks up close to you, but it's, you know, can be difficult for the Stratios to tackle if the target is moving.
Warp drive active.
Now, what do you think? Am I really going to go and shoot down one mining ship? After all, I did say that I don't shoot mining ships, but let's find out if I will keep the word. So there is the mining ship, and let's approach. Now, what do you think? Am I going to shoot? Of course not. Like I said, mining ships are not my primary targets. I prefer to shoot at combat ships. I just wanted to scare this boat because it's not really a
Warp
safe
drive
area
active.
to mine at. Alright, well, this was a very relaxing Cynabal roam. The Cynabal gang is definitely a super fun fleet that you can assemble with your friends. Definitely one of the best ships for this type of combat. Definitely one of the best ships for low sec, and I would say one of the better ships for roaming because it's ridiculously fast and you will not waste a lot of time warping from one place to the other place. So with that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed, really hope that you have fun with the Cynabal as much as I do. I love you all, fly safe, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.